These precarious cliffs, completely isolated by the ocean waves, in the vast ocean, there are still locations where all the usual laws of geography are reversed. There are islands so isolated that time seems to have stopped there millions of years ago. Without seeing them firsthand, would you believe that such unreal places actually exist on Earth? Hidden behind that serene beauty are secrets that could completely change our understanding of this planet. This isn't a dream, but one of the strangest, unreal places ever filmed. Welcome to Hide a Planet. Explore now to see that this world is still much larger than we ever knew. Lofoten Islands, Norway. Located above the Arctic Circle, it boasts colorful fishing villages and a landscape where mountains blend seamlessly with the sea. Winter in Lofoten can be magical with its snow-covered landscapes and shimmering aurora borealis. While summer is distinguished by its turquoise waters and the midnight sun phenomenon. The archipelago experiences one of the world's largest high-temperature anomalies relative to its high latitude. As of 2017, the islands attracted 1 million tourists annually. Moorea, French Polynesia. Seen from afar, Moorea resembles a giant crown rising from the ocean with 8 jagged, verdant peaks. The sheer cliffs surround 2 legendary bays, Cook Bay and Opunyohu Bay. This is where you can swim with blacktip sharks and stingrays in the most natural way. Legend has it that a couple living on an island gave birth to an egg. When the egg hatched, it wasn't a human, but a yellow lizard. They named it Rhea. Rhea's mother took very good care of her, but when she grew too quickly and became enormous, she began to flee to the island of Tahiti. Tahiti, French Polynesia. Most famous for its stunning white sand beaches, crystal clear waters, rich marine ecosystem, and lush vegetation. This is a popular destination for tourists looking to relax and enjoy the tropical climate, and it's known as the Unreal Places. Beyond the fertile coastal plains, Tahiti's terrain is rugged and mountainous, with Mount Orohena on Tahiti Nui Island. Numerous fast-flowing streams, the largest being the Papanu River in the north, empty into the sea. In the 1767, Tahiti was visited by Captain Samuel Wallis of the British Navy, who named it King George III Island. Howe, Hawaii, USA. This is a volcano over 3,000 meters high. The sunrise from its summit is one of the most spectacular sights on the planet. Where you stand above the clouds and watch the sun slowly paint the giant crater red. This is a test for the drivers, but a gift for the soul. With over 600 hairpin bends and 50 narrow bridges, this journey takes you past hidden waterfalls. The site where the iconic Iao Needle rises high is a sacred historical location where Hawaiian tribes once clashed. Kauai, Hawaii, USA. It is the greenest island in the Hawaiian archipelago, truly deserving of its nickname, Garden Island. Attracting those seeking unspoiled nature and stunning tropical scenery, the island boasts 4 majestic mountains. It is largely covered in lush rainforest, along with fantastic stretches of beaches. Hawaiian legend suggests the name originates from the legend of Hawaii Loa. The story goes that he named the island after a beloved son. One possible translation of Kauai is place around the neck. It describes how a father would hold his child. Another possible translation is food season. Whitsunday, Australia. If you look at the Whitsundays from above, you will see a magical blend of turquoise and green, but in reality, it's a submerged land. Approximately 10,000 years ago, rising sea levels submerged and transformed the limestone peaks into the 74 islands we see today. This is home to the world's whitest sand with 98% pure silica. What's particularly surprising to experts is that this sand doesn't retain heat. In the 1770, James Cook recorded in his diary that he named it Whitsunday's Passage because he believed it was a Sunday. Later, when the schedule was checked, it was discovered that he had actually passed through here on a Monday. Lord Howe, Australia. A prime example of an isolated island in the middle of the ocean, formed by volcanic activity at a depth of over 2,000 meters. It contains a unique ecosystem of flora and fauna, as well as a true coral reef located at the southernmost point in the world. This is a spectacular and majestic area packed into a small landmass called Unreal Places. It also serves as an important breeding ground for seabird populations and a natural habitat for the conservation of threatened species. The entire area, including both the sea and the associated coral reefs, covers 146,300 hectares, with the land area being 1,540 hectares. Tasmania, Australia. Over 40% of the island's area is preserved within national parks and World Heritage Sites. In the 19th century, Tasmania was home to some of the most unruly prisoners of the British Empire. Port Arthur was such a harsh prison system that it earned the nickname Hell on Earth. Today, it stands as a somber historical monument, a reminder of a sad chapter in the past. The story of the Aboriginal people in Tasmania is a poignant one, as they were nearly wiped out with the settlers. Today, Tasmania has transformed itself into a cultural and culinary hub. Waiheke, New Zealand. An island in the southern part of Nosy Be, off the east coast of the North Island, New Zealand. It is New Zealand's fifth largest island, featuring gently sloping hills with a maximum elevation of 759 feet. This island was once a manganese mining site in the late 19th century. Today, it is a residential and resort area connected to Auckland by ferry service. There are numerous vineyards and several sheep and cattle farms covering an area of 92 square kilometers. Santorini, Greece. Distinguished by its pristine, white-tiered houses perched on sheer cliffs. Adorned with blue domes that perfectly match the color of the Aegean Sea, this is a perfect combination of aesthetics and functionality. The contrast between the pristine white of the architecture, the reddish black of the volcanic rock, and the deep blue of the sea. Behind that idyllic beauty lies a brutal history. The story of Santorini is intertwined with the Thera disaster. This was one of the largest volcanic eruptions in human history. It blew away the central part of the original large island, creating the volcanic caldera we see today. Koh Phi Phi, Thailand. It is known as the Jewel of the Andaman Sea. Before becoming a tourist paradise, this area was a peaceful land of Muslim fishermen and coconut plantations in the 1940s. With its fine white sand beaches surrounded by towering cliffs, it has become a symbol of paradise on earth. Towering limestone cliffs embrace the turquoise waters, a sight rarely seen anywhere else in the world. Few people know that the name Phi Phi originates from the Malay word Pulau Api Api, meaning island of fire. This name doesn't refer to a volcano, but rather unto the mangrove trees that grow abundantly on the island. Palawan, Philippines. Renowned as a top ecotourism destination, it is known for its majestic limestone cliffs and pristine white sand beaches. They are not ordinary lakes, but saltwater lakes surrounded by towering karst limestone formations. Formed from millions of years of geology, creating a unique ecosystem with crystal clear water. It's not just about the landscape, it's about feeling small in the face of nature, yet embraced by a heart-wrenching serenity. Not only are they visually beautiful, but they also possess ecological beauty, being home to vibrant coral reefs and tropical fish species. Bali, Indonesia. Famous for its diverse beaches, from the vibrant golden sands of Kuta and Seminyak Beyond the coast, you'll be immersed in the scenery of lush green terraced rice fields, deep gorges, and tropical rainforests. Famous for its Trihita Karana philosophy, the foundation of Balinese life, it emphasizes harmony in the three relationships. This island is a cultural and spiritual hub, all the way to the luxurious resorts of Seminyak. In the 1930s, Bali began to attract visitors with its unspoiled beauty and culture, helping it gain global popularity. Siargao, Philippines. Located in northeastern Mindanao, it has rapidly transformed from a secret spot for professional surfers into a global tourism hotspot. It's impossible to talk about Siargao without mentioning Cloud 9. I call it the grand theater of the surfing world. With its perfect, powerful, and challenging tubular wave, Cloud 9 has put Siargao on the world map. Remarkably, despite the tourism boom, Siargao has retained an admirable level of unspoiled nature. Unlike Boracay, development in Siargao seems to have been driven by the surfing community and nature lovers themselves. Bora, France. Located in the French Society Islands, this site boasts a unique geographical structure rarely found anywhere else in the world. The seawater here changes color from turquoise to deep blue due to the intermingling of coral reefs. Bora is the birthplace of the concept of resort living in floating apartments at sea within unreal places. In the native Tahitian language, the island's original name was Pora, meaning firstborn child. Few would have guessed that this peaceful paradise was once an important military base. Following the Pearl Harbor attack in 1941, the United States chose Bora as a strategic supply base in the South Pacific. Koh Samui, Thailand. Famous for its coconut-lined beaches, luxurious resorts, coconut groves, vibrant atmosphere. Activities include visiting temples, water sports, and exploring Ang Thong Marine Park. Famous for its geographical diversity, such as the bustling Cha Weng area, a place where natural beauty and rich culture converge. It boasts diverse landscapes, including white sandy beaches shaded by coconut trees, coconut groves, and lush tropical forests. Koh Samui Island has been inhabited for approximately 15 centuries. Until the 1800s, the island began to be settled by Chinese and Malay maritime traders attracted by its abundant resources. Langkawi, Malaysia. It's not just one island, but an archipelago of 99 small islands off the northwest coast of Malaysia. A destination that perfectly blends breathtaking natural beauty, rich cultural history, and enchanting folklore. Distinguished by its ancient limestone mountain ranges, dense tropical rainforests, and pristine white sandy beaches. The most famous and tragic story is the legend of Mahsuri. Mahsuri was a stunningly beautiful woman who married a warrior, but was later falsely accused of adultery. Jeju, South Korea. A special autonomous province of Korea, it is known as the Island of Peace and tourist paradise. Formed by volcanic activity about 2 million years ago, this creates a unique landscape. Jeju's most famous formation is associated with the giant goddess Solmundae Halmang. It is said that Lady Solmundae was a giant with extraordinary strength. She used her skirt to carry giant rocks and dump them into the sea to form Jeju Island. This is a wonderful combination of majestic natural landscapes and an admirable cultural and historical depth. Miyako, Japan. The contrast between the pristine white limestone cliffs rising from the water and the crystal-clear turquoise seawater. The atmosphere here is strangely peaceful, just as the name given to it by the Zen master Lin Qin in the 17th century suggests. Cliffs like Unosu and Katayamazaki showcase the incredible power of nature over millions of years, making them unreal places. If Jodogahama represents gentleness, then the coastal cliffs of Miyako are majestic and harsh. They remind humanity of its insignificance before Mother Nature. Phuket, Thailand. It is one of the most beautiful beach destinations in the world, with its pristine white sands. It has something for every taste, with hundreds of hotels, countless dining options, and numerous recreational activities. As the largest island in Thailand, it is approximately 50 kilometers long and 20 kilometers wide. Located on the Malay peninsula, Phuket was historically inhabited by the Austronesian Malays. The name Phuket originates from a variation of the Malay word bukit, as the island resembles that when viewed from a distance. Mykonos, Greece. Known as the Island of Winds, it lies in the heart of the Cyclades archipelago. Its reputation has spread worldwide as a luxurious and internationally renowned resort destination. By day, you can bask in the glorious sunshine of the Aegean Sea, often referred to as the unreal places. What makes this island special is that you can admire archaeological sites, learn about local traditions in picturesque villages. And you can explore its stunning beaches, considered by many to be among the most beautiful in the Aegean Sea. In the 1970s, it became a popular destination that Americans imagined to be characteristic of Greeks. Crete, Greece. Crete presents a stark contrast. On one side, there are surreal beaches like Elefonici or Balos Lagoon. On the other, there are majestic mountain ranges like Lefka Ori and deep winding gorges. According to legend, the goddess Rhea fled to the Psychro cave on the island of Crete to give birth to Zeus. This very island nourished the king of Olympus with the milk of the divine goat Amalthea. This made Crete a holy land in the minds of the ancient Greeks. If you come here for the sea, you'll stay for the stories told over a glass of raki and the vibe of European history. Capri, Italy. Capri is an island located in the Bay of Naples, just a few nautical miles from the Sorrento Peninsula. Today, Capri is one of the world's most popular tourist destinations, beloved for its majestic, rugged coastline. Sea caves hidden within cliffs, and the charming yet intimate atmosphere of the island's villages. The island is a single limestone massif 6.25 kilometers long and 589 meters high at Monte Solaro. Two depressions on the steep coastline with sheer cliffs serve as landing points. It has been inhabited since prehistoric times and served as a resort for emperors during the early years of the Roman Empire. Sicily, Italy. If you were to liken the map of Italy to a boot, then Sicily would be the ball that boot is kicking. A strange blend of Greek classical-style Roman sophistication and the mystical charm of Arabia. You might see a Catholic church that resembles an ancient mosque. It's impossible to talk about Sicily without mentioning the mafia, but from a cultural perspective. It stems from a history of constant invasions, which has caused the local people to lose faith in the clan government. Today, Sicily is striving to transform its dark stories into a lesson of resilience and change. Sardinia, Italy. Italy is an island and region of Italy, second only in area to Sicily among the islands in the Western Mediterranean. The island is located 200 kilometers west of mainland Italy, 12 kilometers south of the French island of Corsica, and 200 kilometers off the coast of Africa. This island is a remnant of the Hercynian Massif known as the Tyrrhenian continent. Its rocks are mostly Paleozoic. Cambrian schist predominates in the southwest, while granite covers more than a third of the island's surface. Distinguished by its truncated cone-shaped structures formed from blocks of stone quarried from extinct volcanoes. Most of the Nuraghi structures are quite small, but some are clearly fortresses. Hvar, Croatia. Known as the Lavender Island, it boasts the intoxicating aroma of deep purple lavender stretching across its hillsides. Furthermore, the region's wines have a tradition spanning over 2,400 years. By day, Hvar is peaceful with its seaside cafes and winding alleyways. At night, it transforms into a Saint-Tropez of Croatia with yacht parties and vibrant nightclubs. With Fort Fortica perched atop the hill, you can enjoy panoramic views of the town of Howe and the Pakleni Islands in the distance. This is a $1 million spot to watch the sunset. Majorca, Spain. Imagine an island with turquoise waters, secluded coves, and smooth golden sands. Now let's put that island in the middle of the sea, just a few hours' flight from most European cities. That's miniature Majorca. The island and its capital Palma are full of character, while its beaches are world famous. This makes it one of the most sought-after summer destinations. With its array of luxurious hotels and villas, Majorca is also one of the world's best destinations for kayaking. Ibiza, Spain. When people think of Ibiza, they often immediately picture its superclubs with their vibrant electronic music. This place brings together the world's top DJs and parties that last from sunset until dawn the next day. The ancient Phoenicians believed the island was blessed by the god Bes. They believed the land of Ibiza was snake-free and possessed healing energy. Before becoming an EDM hub, Ibiza was a haven for free spirits. This liberal mindset laid the foundation for the later explosion of nightclub culture. Madeira, Portugal. It is an archipelago of volcanic origin in the North Atlantic Ocean, belonging to Portugal. The archipelago consists of 2 inhabited islands, Madeira and Porto Santo, and 2 uninhabited island groups. Madeira Island, the largest island in the archipelago, is 34 miles long and has a coastline of approximately 90 miles. The majority of the inland area above 900 meters is uninhabited and uncultivated. These communities of scattered huts are often built at the mouths of ravines or on steep slopes. Skye, Scotland. Skye isn't for those seeking the glitz and glamour of luxury resorts. Its allure lies in its unspoiled and dramatic beauty. Mountain ranges, like the Store or quarrying, are unlike anywhere else on Earth. They were formed by massive prehistoric land collapses, creating jagged rock pillars that pierce the grey sky. It boasts a distinctive color palette, emerald green from moss, deep grey from basalt rocks, and the deep blue of the Atlantic Ocean. When the clouds roll in, the entire island resembles a melancholic yet incredibly captivating oil painting. Maldives is not an ordinary country with over 1,190 small coral islands grouped into 26 chains. It is the lowest country in the world. The Maldives has redefined the concept of luxury tourism with its one island, one resort model. The sea's color transitions from turquoise to deep blue against a backdrop of fine white sand. Few people know that in the 1970s, a group of United Nations experts once concluded that the Maldives had no tourism potential. In 1972, the first resort opened with just a few simple tents, which today are a symbol of ultimate luxury. Seychelles, located approximately 1,500 kilometers off the coast of East Africa, this island nation comprises 115 islands of varying sizes. It is distinguished by its fine, powdery, white sand beaches and massive ash-gray granite boulders eroded by the waves. To mention Seychelles without mentioning the Coco de Mer would be a huge oversight. It is the soul and most fascinating story of this island nation. What makes it legendary is its shape. It looks exactly like a woman's buttocks. Local people used to believe that on moonlit nights, male and female trees would seek each other out to mate. Mauritius. Mark Twain once wrote, "Mauritius was made first, then paradise, and paradise was copied from Mauritius." Famous for its turquoise waters, pristine white sand beaches, and luxurious resorts. But it's much more than just the beach, and it's the kind of place where even a small effort at exploration will pay off. There are hiking trails through the forests and inland mountains, as well as world-class scuba diving and snorkeling offshore. Boat trips to the small islands are almost perfect, as are tours of botanical gardens and colonial-era plantation houses. Mauritius is a fantastic culinary destination with fascinating wildlife viewing opportunities. Zanzibar, Tanzania. Also known as the Spice Island, the beautiful island of Zanzibar is brimming with culture and history. The sparkling white sand beaches swaying in the sea breeze make Zanzibar an ideal place to relax and unwind. This area comprises the Zanzibar archipelago in the Indian Ocean, consisting of numerous small islands and 2 larger islands. This island is a paradise for water sports such as swimming and snorkeling. With its smooth beaches, a day becomes glorious under the sun. Réunion, France. This is a paradise for adventure lovers with its sheer cliffs, deep canyons, and 3 enormous basins. At the heart of the island is Piton de la Fournaise, one of the world's most active volcanoes. It wasn't ferocious like destructive volcanoes, but rather like an artist patiently sculpting a new form for the island. Unlike many other places, Réunion has no indigenous population. When the French arrived to settle in the 17th century, they brought slaves from Africa and laborers from India and Southeast Asia. Nosy Be, Madagascar. Located off the northwest coast of Madagascar, covering an area of 320 square kilometers. It is the largest island in the archipelago and home to approximately 73,000 people. Historically, in 1649, a potential settler, Colonel Robert Hunt, chose this place as both a source of joy and profit. Besides the British, many future migrants, both accidental and deliberate, landed on the Nosy Islands. The remains of a settlement built by Indian survivors of a shipwreck can still be seen in the southeast of the main island. Galapagos, Ecuador. This archipelago was formed from violent volcanic eruptions at the bottom of the ocean. Complete isolation from the mainland for millions of years has created a place where animals have no fear of humans. Famous for having the world's only lizard species that can swim, and for its elderly turtles that can live for over 100 years. In 1835, a young man named Charles Darwin set foot on the archipelago aboard the ship HMS Beagle. Darwin realized that on each different island, the sparrows had different beak shapes to suit their specific food sources. Fernando de Noronha, Brazil. With its indescribable beauty, Fernando de Noronha Marine National Park is located approximately 340 kilometers off the coast of Brazil. Nearly 70% of the main island of Fernando de Noronha, along with 21 smaller islands and atolls, make up the archipelago. This is an elliptical coral reef comprising 2 small islands surrounded by a marine protected area. With these 2 protected areas, the region covers an area of 42,270 hectares and a buffer zone of 140,713 hectares. Located in a vast ocean, Brazil's Atlantic archipelago forms a fertile oasis. St. Bart's Caribbean. With its vibrant red roofs nestled against lush green hillsides. Narrow, winding streets and the capital city of Gustavia, with its harbor teeming with super yachts worth hundreds of millions of dollars. In the 18th century, the island was an ideal hideout for notorious pirate gangs, among whom Daniel Montbars is a legend. It is rumored that he buried countless treasures looted from Spanish ships in the sand dunes of Gouverneur or Saline beaches. To this day, many treasure hunters still secretly come here, hoping to strike it rich. Turks and Caicos. This is a British overseas territory in the West Indies. The archipelago comprises 2 island groups located on the southeastern edge of the Bahamas and north of Hispaniola. The islands include 8 islets and numerous smaller islets, atolls, reefs, shoals, and shoals. Cockburn Town on Grand Turk Island is home to the government and the main commercial center. The Caicos Islands are located northwest of the Turks Islands and are separated from them by a 35-kilometer-long sea trench. St. Lucia. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the absolute pride of the island's people. The feeling of standing at the foot of the mountain and looking up or climbing to the summit to gaze down at the ocean. It's known as the world's only drive-in volcano. You can get close to the bubbling mud pools and take a mineral mud bath to rejuvenate your skin. Above all, with an impressive number, this island has changed hands between England and France a total of 14 times. Aruba, Caribbean. It is an island located southwest of the Lesser Antilles archipelago in the Caribbean Sea. It is approximately 80 kilometers northwest of Curaçao and 29 kilometers north of the Paraguana Peninsula of Venezuela. Formerly part of the Dutch Antilles, it became a separate, autonomous part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands in 1986. Tourists flock to Aruba, drawn by its white sandy beaches in the south and west, and its rugged coastline in the northeast. It is low-lying. The island consists mainly of magmatic rock overlaid on layers of limestone and is surrounded by coral reefs. Exuma, Bahamas. If I had to use one word to describe Exuma, it would be unreal. The sea here isn't just ordinary blue. Unlike the hustle and bustle of Nassau, Exuma offers a completely secluded feeling. There are sandbanks that only appear at low tide, forming pristine white pathways in the middle of the ocean. This is Exuma's most famous story. At Big Major Cay, you'll see pigs swimming out to greet tourist boats begging for food. A group of sailors left a herd of pigs on the island with the intention of returning to butcher them, but they never came back. Holbox, Mexico. The perfect combination of relaxation, fantastic weather, and breathtaking beauty. Isla. Holbox in Mexico is the paradise island you've always dreamed of visiting. Centuries ago, this area was a refuge for pirates seeking fresh water. Later, it became a fishing island where families for generations have taken deep root. It has become an ideal place for those who want to disappear, a place where foreigners come to temporarily escape their daily lives. Easter Island, Chile. Isolated in the Pacific Ocean, more than 3,700 kilometers from the Chilean mainland, Rapa Nui is one of the most remote inhabited places. Without rivers or streams, people in the past had to rely entirely on rainwater and brackish water pockets along the coast. Contrary to the misconception that they only have heads, Moai all have complete bodies, but they are buried under layers of earth over time. They represent deified ancestors, the protectors of the tribe. It is a living testament to the boundless creativity of humankind under the most extreme conditions. Roatan, Honduras. It is a town in northern Honduras, located on the southwestern coast of Roatan Island. Here, the remains of 17th-century pirate fortifications can still be seen. It was from Roatan that the rebellious pirates set sail. William Walker embarked on his third and final voyage from the United States to Central America in 1860. Roatan is now the island's main commercial center. It has shipyards and factories that can fish fruit and meat. In the 1970s, tourism was added to the local industries. Socotra Island, Yemen. Located in the northwestern Indian Ocean, Socotra is 250 kilometers long and comprises 4 islands and 2 smaller rocky islets. This site is of global importance due to its biodiversity with rich and unique flora and fauna. It is also home to globally significant populations of terrestrial and seabirds, including several threatened species. The recognized area is large enough to fully represent all terrestrial and marine features and processes. Terrestrial nature reserves, national parks, and areas of exceptional botanical value. Waiheke, Philippines. It is famous worldwide primarily for white beach, a stretch of sand about 4 kilometers long, as fine as powder and pure white. It's not just ordinary sand, it's fine coral sand that doesn't get hot under the harsh sun. The crystal-clear turquoise waters make Boracay a haven for swimming and snorkeling. The sight of traditional paros sailboats gliding across the water is considered one of the most beautiful sunsets in the world. Prior to 2018, Boracay faced a severe, uncontrolled ecological crisis that had turned the island into a sewage pit. Dao Island, Vietnam. With a total land area of 75.15 square kilometers and a local population of approximately 5,000 people. The islands are composed of magmatic rocks of varying ages. The northern part of Dao Island is composed of quartz diorite and granite granodiorite. What makes Dao unique is its tranquility, solitude, fresh air, and slow pace of life, transforming it into a spiritual retreat. This place was once a notorious prison system, built and maintained by the French colonialists for over 100 years. Phu Quoc, Vietnam. If the northwest coast has smooth golden sand beaches, the south is enchanting with curved white sand beaches. The primeval forest ecosystem occupies most of the northern area of the island, creating a giant green lung. Phu Quoc's transformation over the past decade is an astonishing story. From a sleepy island district, Phu Quoc has become Vietnam's first island city. World-class resorts, the world's longest oversea cable car system, and spectacular entertainment areas.
Blood Falls, Antarctica. Approximately 2 million years ago, a saltwater lake completely devoid of light and oxygen and extremely salty. The water in this lake was rich in iron. When this salty water leaks through the cracks and comes into contact with oxygen, it is immediately oxidized, creating a red color. What shocked the scientific community was the existence of ancient bacteria in this harsh environment. They survived by converting sulfate into sulfite using iron to sustain life instead of photosynthesis. Cano Cristales, River Columbia. Often known as the Rainbow River, it is one of Colombia's top destinations. It is a safe and enchanting place where you can admire some of the world's most spectacular scenery. The five-colored river is at its most vibrant between July and November, when Macarenia clavigera blooms. This plant produces a brilliant red pigment that covers the riverbed, creating a spectacular display of color. The contrast between the red and the green vegetation, the blue sky and the clear water creates a breathtaking spectacle. The colors are most vibrant when the water level is low and the sunlight shines at the right angle onto the riverbed. Dao Island, Mexico. Thousands of old, worn-out dolls with empty or mud-stained eyes hang from tree branches or fences. In the scorching Mexican sun, they don't bring out any cuteness, but create a gloomy atmosphere. It all began with Don Julian Santana Barrera, who left his family to live in seclusion on this island around the 1950s. Legend says that Julian found the body of a little girl who had drowned in the canal near the island. Shortly afterward, he found a doll washed ashore. Believing it belonged to the little girl, he hung it on a tree as a way to comfort her soul. Eternal Flame Falls, USA. It is a 9-meter-high waterfall consisting of 2 sections. The top section is a narrow waterfall nearly 2 meters high. The second section widens to more than double its width as it cascades down slate. A small cave to the right contains an underground spring with natural gas, which can be ignited to create a flame 10 to 20 centimeters high. As you approach the falls, a natural gas odor similar to rotten eggs permeates the gorge. This is the result of leaks from the organic-rich Hanover shale layers known as the Unreal Places. The gas is produced during the decomposition of organic matter in pressurized rock deposits and escapes through cracks and debris. Dalol, Ethiopia. If you only look at the photos, you'll be amazed by the lemon-yellow lakes interspersed with the orange-red hues of iron. These lakes are essentially sulfuric acid and dissolved salts. The pH here can drop to below 0. The strong smell of sulfur and toxic gases spewing from the vents make breathing difficult. The terrible isolation and the corrosive effects of salt on the machinery caused the projects to fail one after another. After World War II, the railway line was dismantled, and people gradually fled this hell, leaving behind a town made of salt. The story of Dalol would be incomplete without the Afar people today, who remain the only ones who challenge this place. Haukadalur, Iceland. located on the famous Golden Circle. It is one of the rare places in the world where you can feel the heat from the Earth's core. The story of Howe is intertwined with the rise and fall of the Great Geyser. Geothermal activity here has existed for approximately 10,000 years. In the 19th century, geyser erupted with extreme force, attracting scientists from around the world. There was a time when people tried to stimulate geyser to erupt by pouring soap into its spout. This created spectacular displays, but clogged the natural duct system, causing it to gradually cease functioning. Kauai volcano, Indonesia. Right in the middle of the crater lies a stunning turquoise lake. But don't let the color fool you. This is the world's largest lake of sulfuric and hydrochloric acid. It can melt metal and cause severe burns in an instant. Behind the dazzling beauty that attracts thousands of tourists lies a haunting story of the survival of sulfur miners. This is the painful yet resilient soul of Kauai. Nazca lines Peru. Located on the arid coastal plains of Peru, about 400 kilometers south of Lima. The giant ground drawings in Nazca and the Jumana steppe region span an area of approximately 450 square kilometers. These lines etched into the ground surface between 500 BC and 500 AD. It is one of the greatest mysteries of archaeology because of its number nature size and continuity. The gigantic drawings depict living creatures, stylized plants, and imaginary beings, as well as geometric shapes. It is believed that they served a ritualistic astronomical function. Dedvle, Namibia. The combination of pristine white clay soil, the surrounding fiery red sand dunes, the main highlight is the dark, twisted acacia tree trunks standing alone like artistic sculptures in an installation. Approximately 900 to 1,000 years ago, this area was a lush green oasis thanks to the Sawchab River, overflowing after heavy rains. However, due to climate change, the massive sand dunes shifted and blocked the river's path. The oasis was cut off from its source of life and gradually dried up. Rainbow Mountain, Peru. Also known as Vinicunca, Rainbow Mountain is a popular destination that attracts visitors with the beauty of its mineral veins. The most iconic image is adorned with streaks of rusty red, earthy yellow, bright red, turquoise, and gold. At 17,060 feet, this mountain isn't actually the tallest in the area. It is famous for its striped and colorful appearance, a phenomenon caused by its unique mineral and geological composition. The vibrant colors of Rainbow Mountain come from a blend of mineral deposits, creating its striking striped appearance. This is the result of layers of clay sandstone and gypsum, exposed due to the movement of tectonic plates and the melting of glaciers. Mano del Desierto, Chile. Located in the Atacama Desert, Chile, about 75 kilometers south of Antofagasta, right next to the Pan-American Highway. This hand didn't appear by chance. It's the result of an artistic effort to break the eerie silence of the Atacama Desert. Artist Mario Irarrázaval wanted to use the image of a hand rising from the earth to depict the loneliness and helplessness of humanity. In a lifeless desert, the hand looks like a cry for help, or the last vestige of a buried civilization. For many Chileans, the work also carries profound political significance. Matmata, Tunisia. It is a famous Berber village particularly known as a filming location for Star Wars. The main tourist attraction in this beautiful and unique village is Luke Skywalker's house. It has now been converted into a hotel and still houses many props from the films. From afar, the village is unremarkable, and only upon approaching do you realize there's something special about it, and the legend begins. Legend has it that the first underground houses in Matmata, Tunisia, were built as a way to protect the inhabitants from the tribal chiefs. The construction of these hidden underground houses kept the residents safe at night because the village was very difficult to detect. Manshiat Nasser. Nestled at the foot of the Mokattam Cliffs on the outskirts of Cairo, is home to approximately 60,000 to 100,000 Zabaleen people. Unlike typical slums here, garbage is not waste, it is property. Every square meter, every rooftop, every stairwell is filled with sacks of plastic, paper, metal, and glass. The story of Manshiat Nasser begins in the 1940s when impoverished farmers from Upper Egypt migrated to Cairo. With no land, they chose garbage collection as a means of livelihood. Slab City. It has been known by many different names over the years. Despite having many nicknames, Slab City is most often referred to as the Slabs, the last free place on Earth. With a population of around 150 people living there year-round, which typically increases to about 4,000 during the winter months. Although it's much more prosperous here than most other places, it's unlikely to be the anarchist stronghold one might think. Most of the people living here receive some form of government assistance. Badab-e-Surt, Iran. Scientifically speaking, Badab-e-Surt is a system of travertine terraces. However, what sets it apart from places like Pamukkale is its color. Locals have regarded this place as a gift from the earth for centuries. Ancient warriors and nomads often stopped here to bathe in the salt lakes. They believe that this water not only washes away worldly impurities, but also has the ability to restore strength and heal painful wounds. Crooked Forest, Poland. This is a forest of 400 strangely shaped pine trees located near the town of Gryfino, West Pomerania, Poland. These pines were planted around 1930, when the area was still part of the German province of Pomerania. From the base, the pines grow bent at a 90-degree angle toward the north, but then bend back to grow straight up towards the sky. Despite the unnatural curves that bend to the sides, these trees are generally healthy and grow up to 50 feet tall. There are many theories about this mystery, although there is virtually no evidence to support any of them regarding the unreal places. Some suggest that the unusual gravitational pull in this area causes trees to bend towards the north. Eye of the Sahara, Mauritania. Located in the vast Sahara Desert of Mauritania, the Richat Formation is a giant concentric arc with a diameter of up to 40 kilometers. It looks like a giant rock flower blooming amidst a sea of golden sand, or like a colossal target sculpted by nature. Initially, due to its perfectly rounded shape, many believed it to be the impact crater of a giant meteorite from millions of years ago. However, the lack of altered minerals caused by the immense pressure has refuted this. Modern studies suggest this is a dome-shaped rock formation that eroded approximately 100 million years ago. Devil's Bridge, Germany. It's a magnificent rock arch spanning a small lake and a tranquil park, giving you the feeling of stepping into a magical fairy tale. In Europe, there are many Devil's Bridges and countless stories about how they were built. Although the stories vary, they generally tell of the bridge being built with the help of the devil. Built in the 19th century in Kromlauer Park, famous for its perfectly circular reflection on the water's surface. Friedrich Rothschild acquired the Kromlau estate in 1842 and is renowned for designing the park and the iconic Rakotsbrücke Bridge. His legacy is a testament to his love of nature and innovative landscape design. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. Located in Bolivia, this is the world's largest salt flat, covering an area of over 10,000 square kilometers. During the rainy season, a thin layer of water spreads across the salt surface, transforming the entire area into a giant mirror. At this moment, the sky and the ground merge into one, creating a horizonless space, an experience known as walking on clouds. Approximately 30,000 to 42,000 years ago, this area was part of a massive prehistoric lake called Minchin. As the lake dried up due to climate change, it left behind two smaller lakes and two large salt fields. More rocky road users. New Zealand. If you set foot on Koh Phi Phi Beach, you'll feel like you've just stumbled into a chess game played by the gods. Dozens of nearly perfect spherical rocks, some up to 2 meters high and weighing several tons, are scattered across the sand. According to Maori belief, these stones are not natural rocks. The story tells of the legendary Araitiuru dugout canoe, one of the large ocean-going ships that carried their ancestors to New Zealand. These round stones are actually baskets containing eels' gourds and sweet potatoes from the shipwreck, which have fossilized over time. Green Lake, Austria. The name Blue Lake is not an exaggeration. The lake's water is an incredibly clear emerald green. The magic lies in the fact that this clarity is due to the meltwater from the snow on the surrounding karst mountains. In spring and early summer, when temperatures rise, the snow from the mountains melts and flows into that valley that's unreal places. The allure of Gruner Sea lies in the intersection of two worlds. Previously, it was a holy grail for scuba divers. They came here to experience the feeling of walking underwater along trails and sitting on benches at the bottom of the lake. Hutuan, China. Located in China's Shanxi province, it has been abandoned for many years, but it doesn't look dilapidated at all. On the contrary, it is the most beautiful and lush green village in the world, with almost every building covered in vibrant vegetation. This emerald gem, located about 40 miles from Shanghai, was once a thriving settlement. In the early 1990s, as this small bay increasingly failed to meet the growing demands of the fishing industry, later residents began migrating inland in search of other jobs and a better life, a common trend in many small Chinese villages. Gradually, most of the houses were abandoned, and now only a few residents remain. Mount Huashan Plank Walk, China. It is one of China's 5 sacred mountains, famous for its steepest and most rugged terrain. This wooden plank path was built over 700 years ago by Jia Yuanxi, a Taoist practitioner of the Quanzhen sect during the Yuan dynasty. He built it so he could travel to secluded caves on cliffs in search of absolute tranquility for cultivating immortality. Initially, the path consisted only of wooden planks nailed to the cliff face with handcrafted iron nails. Ancient hermits traversed this path without safety ropes or modern equipment like we have today. They considered overcoming the fear of death as part of their spiritual cultivation process. Silfra Rift, Iceland. Filled with pristine glacial spring water. It's a paradise for divers who can snorkel among coral reefs or dive between tectonic plates. Numerous snorkeling and diving tours are organized daily, offering visitors a safe way to experience the tranquil depths. Located within Thingvellir National Park, one of the main stops on the Golden Circle tours. This area is easily accessible by rental car and is ideal for a day trip in southwest Iceland. This is the only diving location in the world where you can explore the rift between 2 continents. This rift formed when the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates slowly drifted apart, widening by about 2 centimeters each year. Christ of the Abyss, Italy. The statue named Il Cristo degli Abissi is located in San Frutuoso Bay between Camoli and Portofino on the Italian Riviera. The idea originated from the legendary diver Duilio Marcante. Marcante wanted to place a symbol at the bottom of the sea to protect all those who consider the ocean their home or their livelihood. The statue, approximately 2.5 meters tall and weighing 260 kilograms, was cast by sculptor Guido Galletti. Remarkably, the copper used to cast the statue was salvaged from metals, parts of ships, and even church bells. The statue was launched into the water on August 29, 1954, at a depth of approximately 17 meters. Spotted Lake, Canada. If you look from above in the summer, you'll see it's no longer a calm, still body of water. And this is an endorheic salt lake. In the summer, the heat causing the water to evaporate minerals rapidly. For thousands of years, the indigenous people have used the water and mud here for healing. Each spot is believed to possess a unique healing property ranging from skin diseases to war wounds. There's a story that says during a tribal war, both sides agreed to a truce so they could bathe together in this lake. After being healed, they realized the wonder of nature and decided to end the war. Dao Island. It is an uninhabited island located off the southern coast of Iceland. Famous for being home to the loneliest house in the world, the island cannot be visited without permission from the landowner. This volcanic archipelago, known as Vestmannaeyjar in Icelandic, is relatively young geologically. It only emerged above sea level about 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. The plateau where the Dao hunting lodge is located is covered with short grass and moss, along with a few hills. Cenote Ixquil, Mexico. This is an open cenote located approximately 26 meters below ground, with a rounded opening leading down into the earth. The most distinctive feature of Ixquil is the network of vine roots cascading down from above to the water's surface. The water here is a deep blue about 40 meters deep, creating a feeling that is both serene and majestic. For the ancient Maya cenotes like Ixquil were not only sources of fresh water, but also held ultimate spiritual significance. The Maya believed that these sinkholes were the entrances to Xibalba, where the gods resided, especially the rain god Chaak. Archaeologists have found gold jewelry and even human remains at the bottom of Lake Ik-Kil. Lençóis Maranhenses, Brazil. Located in northeastern Brazil on the eastern coast of Maranhão, in the transitional zone between three Brazilian ecosystems. More than half of its area is a region of white coastal sand dunes with temporary and permanent lagoons. Along the coast, prevailing winds have shaped sand dunes, which are filled in during the rainy season to form lagoons of various colors. This area reveals its most beautiful scenery when the lagoons reach their maximum volume, creating a rare beauty. The origin of this sand dune area is related to the deposition of sediments from periods of sea level rise and fall. The park's vegetation includes pioneer communities such as Restinga mangrove forests and alluvial communities. Airy chimneys, Turkey. This is a stunning combination of colors, the yellow tones of the tough rock and the dark brown of the basalt caps. This contrast creates a landscape that seems straight out of science fiction or dreams of another planet. Standing in this valley, humans suddenly feel insignificant before the power of time. Millions of years ago, volcanic eruptions covered the area with a thick layer of ash, which then solidified into a soft rock called tuff. Over time, wind and rain eroded the soft rock faster than the hard rock, leaving behind the characteristic mushroom-shaped rock formations. Fly Geyser, USA. In 1916, local people drilled a well, hoping to find water to irrigate the desert. They struck a pocket of geothermal water nearly 200 degrees Celsius. The well was later abandoned because the water was too hot. Minerals dissolved in the water settle and accumulate over the years, forming raised masses with bizarre shapes. The vibrant red, green, and yellow hues aren't simply due to minerals, but rather to thermophilic algae. These microorganisms thrive in harsh environments where temperature and light conditions change constantly. Chocolate Hills, Philippines. The most striking feature is the almost perfect shape of about 1,268 to 1,776 conical or pyramidal hills. Their symmetry and large number create a surreal landscape almost unbelievable to be created by nature. With the lush green grass covering the hills, turning dark brown, reminiscent of giant stacked Kisses chocolates. Famous for the story of two giants who fought each other for days when they left, but left behind these hills as the battlefield. As one of the most visited tourist destinations in the Philippines, it plays an important role in the economy of Bohol Province. It offers a unique experience, especially when viewed from high observation decks. Mono Lake, USA. Located on the eastern edge of California, between the arid Great Basin and the snow-capped Sierra Nevada mountains. It is an ancient salt lake covering over 70 square miles and supporting a unique and highly productive ecosystem. The lake is home to trillions of brine shrimp and alkali flies, millions of birds and freshwater streams that flow into it. Along the lake's shores, majestic limestone formations known as tufa towers rise from the water's surface. In the mid-1800s, mineral prospectors and pioneers arrived to make a living from the rocks and soil of the area. The battle to protect Mono Lake from excessive water diversion toward Los Angeles began in the last century and continues. Snake Island, Brazil. It's not just an ordinary island. It's a nightmare for some, but an invaluable biological treasure. Snake Island became infamous for its golden lancehead viper. Beginning approximately 11,000 years ago, rising sea levels severed the waterway connecting the island to mainland Brazil. The snakes trapped on the island had no natural predators, but also no prey on land. Because birds can fly away if the venom doesn't take effect immediately, this snake possesses an extremely potent venom. Plitvice Lakes, Croatia. With an area of nearly 30,000 hectares, it is located in the lowlands of the Dinarides mountain range in the central part of the country. In a stunning karst landscape with a combination of forests and meadows, the majestic Plitvice lake system stands out. Connected by numerous waterfalls and streams both above and below ground, the lakes are divided into upper and lower lakes. The upper lake is formed on dolomite rock, has a gently sloping terrain, and is surrounded by dense forest. The lake system is the result of millennia of geological and biochemical processes, creating natural dams known as tufa barriers. Setenil de las Bodegas, Spain. Instead of roof tiles, hundreds of houses here use the massive protruding basalt cliffs as their roofs and walls. You'll find streets like Calle Cuevas del Sol or Calle Cuevas de la Sombra, where the rocks obscure the sky. Thanks to the thick layer of rock surrounding them, the houses here maintain a stable temperature, cool in summer and warm in winter. Derived from the Latin phrase septem nihil, meaning 7 times nothing. This is a reminder of a medieval war when the army had to besiege the fortified stronghold 7 times before finally breaking through it. Rjukan, Norway. Nestled in a majestic landscape of mountains, waterfalls, and river valleys, it comprises a cluster of pioneering hydroelectric power plants, transmission lines, transport systems, and towns. The Rjukan Notaden Industrial Heritage Site exhibits a unique blend of industrial themes and properties integrated into the landscape. It demonstrates the significant exchange of technological advancements at the beginning of the 20th century. This heritage site is protected under the Cultural Heritage Act of 1978, as amended in 2009. Stone Forest, China, where millions of years of erosion have turned limestone into giant pillars that look like fossil forests. Formed about 270 million years ago during the Carboniferous period of the Paleozoic era, this area was once part of the ancient Yunnan Guizhou Sea. Geological uplift combined with erosion from groundwater and the surface has created unique karst formations. Stone columns up to 30 meters high resembling swords mushrooms or towers spread over an area of more than 500 square kilometers. Palm Islands United Arab Emirates. In the late 1990s, Dubai's Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum realized that oil reserves were running out. He needed a boost to transform Dubai into a global tourism hub. To create Palm Jumeirah, engineers faced unprecedented challenges. The island's main structure is entirely sand and rock. They used over 94 million cubic meters of sand and 7 million tons of rock. To ensure perfect aerial views, sandblasting vessels must utilize GPS positioning technology that is accurate to the centimeter. Antelope Canyon, Arizona, USA. Located deep within the Coyote Buttes north, between the Arizona and Utah state borders. Its story begins in the Jurassic period, a vast sandy desert where towering sand dunes were compressed. Initially, small streams of floodwater flowed through the cracks, eroding the rock into U-shaped grooves. Over millions of years, winds carrying sand meticulously polished the rock's surface, creating undulating patterns. The vibrant red, burnt orange, pale pink, and lemon yellow hues are not accidental. Sapporo Snow Festival, Hokkaido. Imagine Odori Park, once a lush green space, transformed into a giant sculpture gallery under the winter sky. The highlight is the towering snow and ice sculptures, some the size of buildings. They recreate everything from famous architectural landmarks and favorite cartoon characters to iconic images of Japan. As night falls, the landscape becomes more magical than ever. The statues are illuminated with vibrant colors, transforming the cold snow and ice into sparkling warm crystals. The festival is a huge economic driver, attracting millions of visitors each year and solidifying Hokkaido's position. Shirakawa-go, ancient village. Located along the Shogawa River Valley in the remote mountains, stretching from Gifu Prefecture to Toyama Prefecture. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1995, this area is famous for its traditional rural houses. This architectural style has evolved over generations and is designed to withstand heavy snowfall. The roof, constructed without nails, creates a large attic space used for raising silkworms. Although the number of gasho-style houses in each village has decreased since World War II. These remaining gasho-style house clusters allow each village to retain its traditional appearance. Mount Fuji. Japan's highest mountain at 3,776 meters is not only a geographical wonder, but also a cultural and spiritual symbol. From around late October to June, the perfectly conical summit of natural wonders is covered in a blanket of soft white snow. The contrast between the pristine white snow and the dark gray volcanic slopes creates a vivid ink painting-like scene. In Japanese aesthetic philosophy, wabi-sabi is the search for beauty in imperfection, transience, and humility. Mount Fuji in winter, with its minimalist, solitary, and majestic beauty in the cold, is the perfect embodiment of wabi-sabi. In winter, when harsh weather makes climbing impossible, this isolation only adds to the mountain's mystique. Kinkaku-ji Temple, Kyoto. As iconic symbols of Kyoto, Kinkaku-ji Temple and the Golden Pavilion are must-see destinations for any traveler. This magnificent temple has 3 levels each, with a golden phoenix atop the roof, and each level has its own unique style. The ground floor is built in the Shinden style with simple wooden columns. The second floor reflects the buke style associated with samurai, while the top floor is completely covered in gold leaf. Built in the late 14th century, originally as a retreat villa for Shogun Ashikaga, Yoshimitsu Kinkaku-ji Temple was rebuilt in 1955 after a fire like many other historical wooden structures in Japan. Ginzan Onsen, Yamagata. If you're looking for the perfect picture of an Asian winter, Ginzan Onsen is the answer. The thick, smooth snow clings to balconies and railings, creating a scene one would typically only see in movies. When the snow falls heavily, it blankets the narrow valley and the wooden roofs, turning the entire neighborhood into a pristine white. What makes Ginzan Onsen unique is the magical contrast between the white snow and the classic streetlights. In the evening, the warm orange gas lamps illuminate the 3- and 4-story ryokan buildings dating back to the Taisho era. This light not only illuminates the streets, but also creates a warm halo that dispels the cold, inviting visitors into a nostalgic world. Shuangfeng Snow Village, Heilongjiang. Located near Harbin, the capital of Heilongjiang Province, Shuangfeng offers visitors stunning snowy landscapes. The snow season in Shuangfeng can last up to 7 months, with an average annual snowfall of about 2.6 meters. Depending on where the snow falls, it takes on many different forms, appearing as snow mushrooms and other shapes. The snowy season lasts for 7 months, and the annual snowfall reaches up to 2 meters, the highest in China. To fulfill all your fairy tale snow dreams, this place is known as the Snow Town of China. You can ski play in snow globes or go sledding up the mountain to watch the sunrise. Lake Mashu, Hokkaido. In Hokkaido, where winter reigns supreme with its chilly grandeur, Mashu stands out as a unique wonder. the lake's surface renowned for its deep blue color and pristine white snow. The contrast between the smooth white snow on the lake's edge and the deep, almost black-blue color of the water is striking. Dubbed a natural wonder, it is one of the clearest lakes in the world. Although the layer of water is difficult to see in winter, the surrounding area further enhances the sense of freshness in the landscape. Otaru Canal, Hokkaido. It was a central part of the city's bustling seaport during the first half of the 20th century. Large ships were unloaded by smaller vessels, which then transported the cargo to warehouses along the canal. The canal became obsolete as modern port facilities allowed for direct unloading from larger ships. Thanks to public action, a section of the canal was beautifully restored in the 1980s instead of being filled in. The canal is an ideal place for a relaxing daytime stroll when artists display their work for passers-by. This is also the main location for the town's Snowlight Path Festival. Hakuba, Nagano. Nestled deep within the majestic Japanese Alps in Nagano Prefecture, Hakuba is known worldwide. What makes Hakuba legendary is Japan's famous powdered snow. The massive amount of snowfall is dry and fluffy, like cotton, creating slopes perfect for both skiing and snowboarding. The scenery here is truly spectacular. You'll get to admire the northern Japanese Alps with their sharp blade-like peaks. The image of ancient villages nestled at the foot of the snow-capped mountains is a vivid, unusually peaceful picture. Manali, Himachal Pradesh, India. According to Hindu mythology, the town's name derives from Manu Alaya, the first man and lawgiver. Legend says that the sage Manu stepped into his boat here to recreate human life after the great flood that submerged the world. Manali, often called the Valley of the Gods, nestles in the majestic Himalayas, showcasing the marvels of nature. One of the must-see places in Manali is the Hidimba Devi Temple, dedicated to Hidimba. A unique feature of the temple is that it was built to honor a female demon. Kamakura Snow Village, Iyama. Located in Nagano Prefecture, a region famous for its majestic mountains and known as Japan's snow country. This is an ideal location for those who want to experience a true winter without the hustle and bustle of large ski resorts. What makes Kamakura Snow Village special is its traditional hemispherical snow huts, also known as Kamakura. Originally, building Kamakura was not just for fun, but also meant praying for a bountiful harvest and well-being for the family. Local people believed that creating these snow huts would bring blessings from the gods. Mount Kurikoma, Miyagi. The surrounding area has been designated a national park, preserving pristine oak forests and wetlands. From mid-September to mid-October, broadleaf trees such as oak and maple adorn the entire mountain. Additionally, hiking trails starting from Akita and Iwate prefectures lead to a majestic volcanic mountain range. From here, visitors can fully admire the famous landscape beauty of the mountain. After about an hour of climbing, visitors will reach an elevated area where they can enjoy panoramic views of the surrounding peaks. Jigokudani Monkey Park, Nagano. The dominant landscape is a blanket of white snow covering the sheer cliffs and pine forests. However, in the heart of this frigid natural wonders lies a naturally steaming hot spring. The main global attraction is the image of the snow monkeys with their thick grayish-brown fur and faces flushed red from the cold. The monkeys are submerged deep in the water, only their heads visible, enjoying the warmth amidst the biting cold. Snow monkeys are native to this high mountain region, and when temperatures drop, they struggle to stay warm. Since the 1960s, a baby monkey accidentally discovered the warmth of an onsen and began imitating humans by soaking in it. Goryokaku Fortress, Hokkaido. It was a massive star-shaped fortress in the Western style built in the late Edo period. A few years later, the fort became the site of a civil war between the shogunate army and the newly established Meiji government. After the fort lost its military importance, it was eventually converted into a public park in the 1910s. Over 1,000 cherry trees have been planted, making this one of the most beautiful cherry blossom viewing spots. At the center of the fort is the old administrative building, where officials of the shogunate once administered Hokkaido Island. Kiyomizu-dera Temple, Kyoto. The highlight of Kiyomizu-dera is its wooden stage built without a single nail and jutting out from the hillside. In winter, when the snow blankets the area, the scene becomes magical and spectacular. A thin layer of snow blankets the ancient curved tile roofs and the towering Keaki wooden pillars, creating a stunning contrast. During the Edo period, there was a folk belief that if a person survived a jump from a height of 13 meters, their wish would come true. Records show that as many as 234 people attempted the jump, and the survival rate was an astonishing 85.4%. Today, this idiom is used to refer to gathering all your courage to do something risky or make a big decision. Nami Island, Nami Seom. If you've ever seen the famous Korean drama Winter Sonata, you're probably familiar with this romantic location. Nami Island even claims its own cultural autonomy, establishing the Republic of Nami in South Korea. One of the most appealing aspects of this stunning island is the breathtaking natural beauty it offers year-round. Especially when traveling to South Korea in April, the cherry blossoms begin to bloom on the islands, creating a dreamy landscape. When winter arrives, Nami Island is covered in pristine white snow, creating a mystical and captivating beauty. In winter, Nami Island is known as a paradise of love, with its dreamy and romantic natural scenery. Gulmarg, Kashmir, India. When winter arrives, the lush green hillsides of summer are now covered with a thick layer of snow. The deodar pine and snow pine forests stand tall and majestic, each branch heavily laden with clusters of pristine white snow. It's impossible not to mention the Gulmarg Gondola, the second highest and longest cable car system in the world. Gulmarg is known as the Mecca of cross-country and freestyle skiing. The snow here has a characteristic fine powder snow quality ideal for adventure enthusiasts. Mount Seorak Seoraksan. As the world's third largest mountain, Seoraksan is one of the most beautiful mountains in South Korea. Located in northeastern South Korea, Seoraksan is easily accessible by bus or private car. Divided into Naya Seorak, Nam Seorak, Oe Seorak, and Daicheongbong. The area boasts a total of 30 majestic mountain peaks. The highest peak is Daicheongbong, reaching 1,708 meters. It is a UNESCO-recognized biosphere reserve and home to a diverse array of plant and animal species. If you're lucky, you might have the chance to see the rare Korean musk deer or the Asian black bear. Gyeongbogung Palace, Seoul. It is not only the largest and most important palace among the 5 great palaces, especially in the pristine white of winter. The snow blankets the traditional curved gray-blue tiled roofs, creating a stunning contrast with the natural wood color. The main courtyard, where important national ceremonies take place, becomes quiet and majestic under the snow. The icy stone steps seem to tell the story of the kings and courtiers who once stood here. Winter brings a sense of tranquility, allowing visitors to appreciate the grandeur and rich history of the palace more deeply. the cold weather seems to bring everything to a standstill, leaving only the pure beauty of its heritage in natural wonders. Diogusan National Park, stretching from the southern slopes of Mount Sobeksan. The national park covers areas in 4 different counties in the province. The park is nestled on Mount Daogusan, the 4th highest mountain in Korea, with its peak reaching 1,614 meters. Blessed by nature with a 36-kilometer-long valley dotted with scenic spots, lakes, and waterfalls. The mountain boasts prestigious cultural heritage sites, such as Gyeoksangsanseong Fortress. The beauty of the mountains can be admired all year round, with the snow-capped peaks being particularly stunning in winter. Mount Halasan Jeju Island. It is an extinct volcano, the highest peak in South Korea, and the centerpiece of Jeju Island. What makes Halasan extraordinary in winter is the pristine blanket of snow that blankets the entire volcanic landscape. In contrast to the majestic, cold, snow-capped mountains, Halasan possesses a softer and more graceful beauty. The smooth white snow contrasts beautifully with the exposed black volcanic rock. According to legend, this is where celestial nymphs descended to Earth to bathe in Lake Bakrokdam. The image of the pristine white mountain further reinforces the story of a sacred land that does not belong to the mortal world. Siargao, Pakistan. Located in northern Pakistan, Siargao boasts majestic mountain landscapes, crystal-clear lakes, and vast icy deserts. It serves as a gateway to some of the world's highest mountains and offers a wealth of exciting activities. Famous for its cold Sarfaranga Desert, a highland desert located in the Shigar Valley, 16 kilometers from Siargao. At 2,286 meters, it is one of the highest deserts in the world and a highlight of the region. Another great activity in Siargao is this stunning lake surrounded by mountains, and its water is a beautiful turquoise color. Buchan Peak, Seoul. A symbol of resilience and pristine natural beauty, right next to a vibrant megacity like Seoul. The massive granite cliffs characteristic of Buchan are covered in a layer of frost and pristine white snow. The bare pine and oak trees further accentuate the mountain's impressive natural wonders landscape. The name Bukhansan speaks volumes about its importance. Throughout the dynasties, particularly the Joseon dynasty, the mountain served as a crucial natural defensive barrier. Bukhan Fortress, an ancient system of walls, runs along the mountain slopes. Jeonju Hanok Village. With approximately 900 wooden houses and buildings, Jeonju Hanok Village is the largest Hanok village in South Korea. One of the highlights of Jeonju Hanok Village is Gyeonggijeon, a beautiful temple nestled in a tranquil garden. Upon entering Hanok Village, the first things you see are Jeondong Catholic Church and Gyeonggijeon Shrine. Jeondong Catholic Church is a Western-style architectural structure with faded silver bricks and an ancient church building. Gyeonggijeon Shrine houses a portrait of King Taejo breathing life into the history of the Joseon dynasty. The clear blue sky, lush greenery, and traditional tiled roofs create a breathtaking scene. Sensoji Temple, Tokyo. Not only is it the oldest temple in Tokyo, but it's also one of the biggest tourist attractions. When it snows, the moment the curved tiled roofs are covered in a blanket of white snow is a spectacular sight. The pristine white contrasts sharply with the crimson red and black of the temple architecture, creating a vibrant ink wash-like scene. In winter, when the days are shorter, the temple's nighttime lighting system activates earlier. The warm, gentle yellow light illuminates the ancient architecture, dispelling the cold and creating a solemn atmosphere. Harbin Ice Lantern Festival. Imagine admiring flowers perfectly preserved in crystal-clear ice, or gingerbread houses sculpted from snow. Or perhaps the glittering towers illuminated in rainbow colors, and the ice castles straight out of Disney fairy tales. Nestled deep in northeastern China on the southern bank of the Songhua River, this city has a fascinating history, having once been home to one of the world's largest Russian immigrant communities. The Russian community peaked at over 100,000 in the 1920s, but disappeared due to major political upheavals in China. Today, only a very small number of Russians remain, estimated at about 0.01% of Harbin's current population. Great Wall of China. With its overwhelming scale, there are no words to describe this structure. It stretches over 21,000 kilometers through rugged mountains, deserts, and plains. Before there was a unified Great Wall, the vassal states during the spring and autumn period, warring states period, began to build individual walls to protect their territories from neighboring states and northern tribes. Qin Shi Huang, after unifying China, ordered the connection and reinforcement of the existing sections of the wall. The main purpose was to protect the new empire from the invasion of the Xiongnu. This period is associated with stories of great suffering and sacrifice. Zhuhai-gu, Sichuan winter. In Zhuhai-gu, typically from November to March, offers a tranquility and purity unlike anywhere else. The towering mountains and pristine forests create a cold yet poetic landscape, reminiscent of a traditional ink painting. Even under the snow and cold, the five-colored lake retains its emerald green surface and vibrant colors at the bottom. The contrast between the surrounding white snow and the deep, brilliant blue water creates a surreal spectacle. Legend says that this place is the result of a love story between the mountain god Dago and the goddess Nosy Be. However, due to an accident, the mirror fell into the valley and shattered into 108 pieces, creating 108 crystal-clear lakes. Jade Dragon, Snow Mountain Lijiang. Located near Lijiang in Yulong County, this national park is also known as Yulong National Park or Lijiang Yulong National Park. Jade Dragon Snow Mountain is a massive mountain with an elevation of 18,360 feet. This colossal mountain has many peaks, the highest of which is Mount Zidu. This mountain is also known as Yulong Mountain or Yulong Snow Mountain, extending northward. A cable car takes visitors up to an observation deck at an altitude of 14,783 feet, offering spectacular views of the mountain. More adventurous visitors can continue hiking to a second observation area at 15,350 feet for a clearer view of the snow-capped peak. Forbidden City, Beijing. It is the world's largest preserved wooden palace complex with a staggering 980 buildings. The architecture strictly adheres to traditional feng shui and ritual principles. In ancient Chinese astronomy, the constellation Zi-Wei was considered the center of the sky, the residence of the Emperor of Heaven. The Chinese emperor considered himself the son of heaven and the incarnation of the heavenly emperor on earth. The story begins at the beginning of the Ming Dynasty,